How we doing, babes? Am I on or am I? Oh, bruh. Bear with me on this, dog, because I this is one of the few times where I'll just set my camera up and not have any idea what the video's about. Just press play. Let's go. No preparation. Zero preparation. Zero thought went into this video before the camera was on. Well, a little. I have a couple ideas, but like I'm not prepared to present them to you on camera. You know? Like this video was not pre-thought about. It was not premeditated at all. In fact, if I could be negative prepared for this video, that's what I'd be. I'd be negative prepared. I think I'll be aight. One thing I should say is this. What this is going to be is it's going to be a place where I have conversations with folks. It's going to be a show on YouTube where I just talk to folks. If you watch my last 3 videos, they were all sports based, but that's not what this is. This isn't a setup that's dedicated to talk about sports. It's just conversations that I'm going to have with folks. I have 3 people right now that are in the works to come on here and talk to me. And we're just literally going to have conversations. It's not like an interview. It's like, you know how people do podcasts and sometimes talk? It's kind of what this is. But I have 3 people in the works. And one is a really close friend. One is not. One's like a person that I used to be friends with, and we haven't stayed in very good touch. We haven't talked very much recently even. So I want you to know that it's not just for close friends. Like, I'm going to reach out to certain people. Of course, people that have like good stories with me. But if I don't reach out to you and you're probably thinking, well, it's because we're not close and he doesn't want to have a conversation with me, that's just wrong. I do. Like, that's kind of why I'm doing this. I really like having conversations with folks. It's fun. And I think this is a good way to do it because sometimes you have really great conversations and they just happen. But this way, like, you can keep it and you can go look back at it if you want. And it's great. I like that about this. But also this, having 2 mics and a camera, that also helps you with, like, kind of setting times aside to talk with someone you haven't spoken with in a long time, or even just somebody. Like, I know coffee dates are like a popular thing, but like, you don't just hit somebody up and say like, yo, bruh, I know you're busy working and you have a busy schedule doing this and that. I'm pretty busy, but you know what we should both do? We should both like clear a couple hours out on our schedule someday so we can just talk. Like, does that ever happen? Not with me, not in my life. I don't be setting time aside to just talk, bruh. Like, we're just gonna talk? Are you serious? I don't set time aside for conversations, but I feel like that's kind of what this is. But since I have 2 mics and a camera, it's a little different. It's like, yo, you want to come be on my show? Maybe I do. I don't know. So it also has that aspect going for it. And I just think it's going to be fun. Like I said, I like talking to folks, so that's kind of the point of it. And don't count yourself out. If you think we're not friends, who cares if we're not friends? We can still have a great conversation. So I'm going to be reaching out to certain people to have them on here, but feel free. Feel absolutely free to hit me up in the DMs. Also want to say that I don't have a name for this show. I don't know. That'll probably come later on. For now, I just want to get the conversations rolling. But if you have any ideas for that, you can also hit me up in those DMs. You know what I'm saying? Those DMs. That's crazy. We have DMs now. Like, you don't have to just randomly see me, like, on the street. Just randomly, coincidentally, run into me outside of the Quiznos when I'm on my way to Quiznos. You don't have to just, like, meet me like that. just randomly run into me on the sidewalk outside of Quiznos. Like, yo, bro, what are you doing? You going to Quiznos? It's been so long. Let's catch up. No, you can just hit me up in the DMs. Quiznos does not need to be involved. You know, just randomness does not have to be involved in this. You can just straight up DM me. It's crazy. We got DMs. So DMs, baby. I'll finish with talking about DMs. I'm talking about social media. And don't exit out the video right now because I have a story. I know when somebody says, like, I'm going to talk about social media. It's like, I just saw myself watching this video and not wanting to continue. It's like, oh, gosh, he's going to talk about social media now. That sucks. Turning this video off, bruh. But don't. Because I have a story. This happened like a week back. Going to school. I go to school like all day now. But I went to school. I'll take the light rail down there, downtown to my campus. And so I took the light rail right from the get-go in the morning. Early in the morning, I'm busting my phone's battery. Got music going while I'm at the light rail station. All the light rail train ride down to my school got music going. In between classes, waiting for my last class to come around, I'm watching YouTube videos nonstop. Just draining that puppy, saying. So I drained my battery. And then on the ride home, I was listening to music and scrolling on Twitter on the light rail ride home, right? And this crazy thing happened. My phone died. So then another crazy thing happened. What this forced me to do, when my screen went black and the music in my ears stopped, I was forced to do this crazy thing, and that was take my headphones out and look up from my screen. And you know what I saw? Tons of folks on the train. Bunch of folks. And I struggled really hard to find a single person. I don't think I did. I don't think I saw a single person that wasn't on their phone, listening to those podcasts, listening to music, scrolling on that twit, saying, and they're all just, where's my phone? They're all just straight up just, everybody, people to the right of me, just people up. Oh, I see all the way down the train, dogs. That's what you don't understand. Like, there's a lot of people on this train, but I see all the way down the hall. Kind of like at the back a little bit. I see all the way down the hall. Everybody sitting down, standing up, just screen time, baby. And there's a lot of people. It's a busy train. My first thought was like, oh, these phones are probably pretty bad for us. Look how addicted we are to them. That was my first thought. But then I was like, wait, hold on. Let's not paint the phones out to be the bad guys too quickly. Because something else that happened on that train ride is as more people started to get off and there was less people on the train, it became more comfortable. Like there's this like feeling. It's like, woo. You know, when they get off, it's like, whoo. Nice. Like I got my personal space up in this beast. I am feeling free. Nice. No one's staring at me. No one looking at me. Nice open train. Just a few people here and there, you know. And what I noticed when that happened, when more people got off, I noticed that there were less people on their phones. Less people. It's like, how could there be less people on this train right now, but also less people on their phone? Notice one guy, he's got his own seat. He's taking a nap, or trying to. Another guy holding his bike, kind of just looking around, chilling, minding his own business. A couple people who aren't on their phones. And I'm like, whoa. Less people on the train, and also less people on their phones. And I follow this guy named Gary Vaynerchuk. Some of you may have heard of him. I think he says this best. He talks about how, these phones and these phone applications aren't really the bad thing that we need to be worried about. I'm not really worried about this age of digital. I'm not really worried about us becoming super addicted to this because it's us, dog. It's us. Like, these phones are exposing us. And I think that on the train was an example of that. When everybody's cramped around you and like there's too many people on the train, you want to avoid, you don't want to talk to strangers. You don't want to like be forced to like be looking eye to eye with a stranger. If we didn't have phones, you know how much weird eye contact there would be? We don't like that eye contact with strangers because we just are uncomfortable with that. That's awkward. We don't want to have conversations with strangers. We don't want to interact with people that we're never going to see again. They're going to get off the train and it's no go from there on. So we don't want to like have all these strange interactions and conversations. And how do you avoid that awkward situation? How do you avoid it? You stare at this thing right here, put your headphones in, no one's talking to you then. No one's going to try and say what's up when you are double headphoning and Twitter scrolling, bruh. And I think these phones expose us more than they are a danger to us. They're exposing our behavior. They're exposing who we are and what we like to do as humans. We don't want that. We don't want to be talking to folks. But then when people get off, it's like, oh, I wasn't doing anything. I was scrolling on Facebook for the third time. I've seen all those posts. Like, thank goodness everyone's off. Like, off the train now, I don't have to be pretending to scroll. But that exposes our behavior. That exposes that we don't want any interaction with strangers, which I don't know if that's bad, but all I'm saying is these phones are exposing our behavior in more than one way. And Gary talks about the Snapchat. There was a bunch of scared parents when Snapchat came out, and a bunch of parents were like, wait, this app does what? These pictures just disappear? What? That's not right, man. This app is giving my kid a perfect platform to misbehave. And like I said, Gary says his best, but first of all, if your kid's misbehaving, that's not Snapchat's fault. Snapchat might be exposing what your kid actually wants to do. Yeah, but it's not Snapchat's fault. Let's not paint all these applications, all this technology out to be the bad guy when it's just exposing our behavior. Don't act like kids don't misbehave anyways, right? With Snapchat or without Snapchat, kids are going to be misbehaving, bruh. That's what kids do. That's what kids do. So I tell that long story to make the point of I'm not super scared of all this technology and all these phones because, one, I'm pretty aware of what it is, and I'm not afraid that it has some scary power over me or my life, because it doesn't. I'm not afraid of these phones. I know I am addicted and I spend too much time on it, but I am not afraid of technology, applications, or any of these things. People make it sound like they have so much power and so much control over us when that's not true. And I don't need to prove that to anyone that I'm cool with that. That's just the way that it is. Anyways, got deep there. I'm going to wrap this puppy up, though. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. That's it. Peace.